Much for watching. Until next time, I'm Ernie Zuniga. Have a great day.
Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
New school year, same old questions about the murder of a San Antonio ISD student.
San Antonio police have not arrested anyone for the death of 14-year-old Simone Cuevas. He was gunned down last spring a few blocks away from Brewer Academy.
So Katrina Weber shows us why some people are afraid that the case is being forgotten.
They're not afraid to take a life. They'll take any life.
In broad daylight.
In broad daylight.
Raw emotion filled the air as parents took over what was supposed to be a student protest last May. They were calling for justice in the murder of 14-year-old Simon Cuevas III, shot dead just a few weeks before that as he headed home from the alternative school.
Still on my mind, I'm scared for my kids each and every day.
Ashley Litt pulled up to the campus Wednesday ready for her son's new school year, only she found the Brewer building locked up tight. The San Antonio School District told me classes are now back at the Estrada campus, about a mile away, which was undergoing repairs last year.
So nobody told you they were moving?
No, I didn't know. I had no clue.
During the summer, I saw some people loading up.
Still, this neighbor says the closing also surprised her. After all the commotion following Cuevas' killing, everything has gone silent.
Like nothing happened. It's just quiet. There's really, like as if nothing happened. Just quietness.
Just like the items at this memorial, some wonder if the case hasn't faded from the minds of investigators. San Antonio police say as far as they're concerned, it's still active.
In an email, SAPD told me a recent Crime Stoppers appeal has helped them identify possible suspects in Cuevas' murder. But contrary to earlier statements, police now say they're adults, not students.
It's a shock that nobody hasn't been arrested. They haven't caught anybody.
Some people say they will only rest after there is an arrest. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Sir, this is Redondo with the police department. Can you please put your firearm down?
That is the voice of former Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo. You heard him trying to negotiate with the shooter who killed 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary.
The video that you're looking at is body camera footage from that day. Uvalde County released it yesterday. Arredondo and another district officer, Adrian Gonzalez, are facing charges after being accused of endangering children on that very day.
New records show Gonzalez helped organize an active shooter training in Uvalde just months before the massacre. We will stay on top of any new developments that come out of the release of this record from Uvalde. Now to a developing story we are following closely this evening. A man facing serious charges tonight for threats made towards San Antonio Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones.
So the man that you see on your screen is 24-year-old Marcos Olvera. San Antonio police say that he commented on a post on X that referenced the mayor's push to pause Project Marvel.
In that post, he said, quote, "We need to kill the mayor," end quote. Olvera is now facing a retaliation charge. Things got heated today between San Antonio City Council members and Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones. The mayor has changed the way that council members go about proposing their ideas.
But does she actually have the power to do that? Well, that's what a handful of council members are asking.
Garrett Berger joining us live now. Garrett, you were in the room for this discussion today. So what turned tense?
It's not so much the particulars of the process changes that the mayor wants to put in place, so much as it is a question of who has the power to set the rules, the mayor or the council as a whole. Now, the mayor says the steps she set out for the council consideration request process, or CCRs, are not veto opportunities. These can't just stop a proposal, but they are meant to ensure an existing requirement to notify the city manager is actually met and to protect the city legally. But opponents frame this as the mayor making changes that the entire council needs to be involved in. During today's discussion, the mayor repeatedly interrupted council members, and there were some pointed remarks.
So I would say, Mayor, respectfully, perhaps watch how the system plays out for 6 months. Be a part of it before you want to make a change to a system that you've never been a part of. See how it works, and then perhaps you can make the recommendations, because it's worked pretty well.
On the merits of this, I am struggling to understand how this benefits the community. Your pushback on those very simple enhancements.
It's not clear exactly where things stand right now. We heard several council members say they want to have more discussion about the mayor's changes, and the mayor says she'd take comments from today under advisement. When I asked the city manager what this means for which way council members file their proposals right now, he says he doesn't think it makes any difference. But more important is the fact that 3 council members used a relatively rare maneuver to go around the mayor and actually force the full council to have this discussion. This happening less than 2 months into the full council being seated. It shows that there are some cracks right now, and it raises questions about how well the mayor and the council are going to be able to tackle some heavy issues coming up, like the city budget and the pending Project Marvel negotiations. Live outside City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Garrett, thank you. And now we'll send things on over to meteorologist Adam Caskey, where we understand there's some showers around Bexar County, right?
Yeah, far northwest side of Bexar County, we have a little bit of rain, heavy downpours, but should be pretty brief in nature. We're talking just west of I-10 and north of 1604. Not far from Government Canyon, but just north of San Geronimo here. That's all we have in Bexar County at the moment. Most of the rain is farther to the north, just outside of Boerne, but especially in Kerr County. And it's heavy rainfall in Kerr County and even in and around Kerrville. And this could very easily add up to a couple of inches of rain in parts of Kerr County, but shouldn't be any type of flooding rain. That's the key, and we're not expecting any damage from any of these thunderstorms. Just heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning and thunder, could be even a little bit of pea-sized hail within these showers. Already we've picked up around an inch of rain. That's the dark green color here that you see on the radar in parts of Kerr County. You go just northeast of Kerrville, 1.3, closer to Ingram and Hunt, 0.8, but it's still raining in those locations. As for San Antonio, I mentioned far northwest side of Bexar County, we have some showers, but also we're watching this green line here. See this elongated line? That's actually an outflow boundary. This right here. It's an outflow boundary from previous thunderstorms. It's headed to the southwest, and that in and of itself could very quickly pop up a shower right along it, just momentarily, and over the next about hour to 2 hours. We'll talk about what we're watching moving into the Gulf and how that impacts our weekend rain chances in just a bit.
Adam, thank you. Will taxes go up? It's a question that people in Kerr County are asking as commissioners discuss the county's budget for the upcoming spending year. As of right now, the answer to that is no, but that could change before leaders finalize the budget. Commissioner Rich Paces wants to cut the tax rate by about 2 cents for every $100 at a minimum. But other commissioners disagree. August 25th is going to be an important date. That's when the public is invited to discuss the budget. It's also when commissioners are set to vote on an official budget.
New at 6, a Hill Country RV park now responding to a lawsuit filed in the deaths of 2 people killed in the July 4th floods. It's one of the first lawsuits filed in response to that flooding, a story we first brought you last night on the Night Beat. Jada Floyd and her fiance Bailey Martin had their RV parked at the HTR resort that night. Their RV was one of the many swept away by the high water. Floyd's family filed the lawsuit seeking over $1 million in temporary relief. That suit claims the campground ignored 11 flash flood warnings, failed to provide safe escape routes, and didn't train staff for emergencies. Today, HTR Resort issued a statement in response. It reads, quote, "Our hearts go out to Ms. Floyd's family, her fiance, and other loved ones, and to all of those who were impacted by the flooding that devastated the Kerrville community. As has been widely acknowledged by state and local authorities, meteorologists, and other experts, no one could have anticipated the unprecedented severity and rapid onset of the flooding that occurred, and that exposed serious failures in public warning systems and emergency response protocols. While we have not yet been served with this complaint, we have reviewed a copy. We reject its fundamental thrust and will be prepared to vigorously defend ourselves in court." End quote. The defendants in the lawsuit include the general manager of the resort, as well as the investors and owners of that property.
15 suspects charged in a massive state-led election investigation appeared before a judge today. And that group includes a former San Antonio mayoral candidate, the Frio County judge, and a Frio County commissioner. KSAT Investigates broke the news of their arrests earlier this summer. Many of them are accused of paying for vote harvesting services. That's when someone picks up finished absentee ballots and then delivers them to polling sites or election officers. The group is expected to be back in court in October. So let's show you this SUV. Does it look familiar? Yeah, it's hard to make out, but San Antonio police want you to take a good look at it because they believe that it's connected to a deadly shooting that happened on July 25th on Frontier Drive near Highway 90. SAPD says that security footage caught the vehicle traveling through a parking lot right before a shooting. Officers say that 24-year-old William Bonilla was found with a gunshot wound, and he was taken to the hospital where he later died. If you know anything about the shooting or if you recognize that vehicle, call Crime Stoppers. Their number is 210-224-STOP.
Let's take a look at TransGuide right now. During the 6 o'clock commute, we're going to go to 281 at Loop 410. We showed you this view at 5 o'clock. It was very backed up from 410. That interchange there headed on to 281 north. So were the main lanes of 281, but things zipping along in all directions just about an hour later. Still ahead here on the news at 6, you don't want to miss this inspirational story. A local student getting a head start, a big head start on his higher education. And he wants others to know they can do it too. And how? Right after the break.
And before we go to break, we want to give you another live look outside here. 90 degrees. The sky looks so pretty and blue, but that may not be the case in other areas of Bexar County. Our Adam Caskey is going to talk to us about some areas that are getting rain and walk us through the rest of the week. We'll be right back. Tonight at 10, we get to the bottom of some of the concerns that some of you have with GoFundMe. Since the catastrophic July 4th floods, people have donated millions of dollars to victims through that crowdfunding website. But some people say that it's taking way too long for victims to get their money. And tonight, we get answers from GoFundMe. A 15-year-old student graduated early from Sam Houston High School, and he did it thanks to free local programs.
Sarah Acosta spoke with the 15-year-old and his mentors who want others to take advantage of those programs so they can get a head start on their college and careers as well.
Gabriel Ping is your average 15-year-old and a gamer.
Hey, I'll never pass up on an opportunity to play a game.
However, at 15, he's also a high school graduate. He will get his associate's degree in cybersecurity this fall, and he hopes to work for the National Security Agency very soon.
I'm probably going to try to expand people's knowledge on cybersecurity, help them to get into the field, give more job opportunities for people.
He says the cybersecurity field needs people now.
A lot of jobs require a lot of work experience, and it's pretty difficult to get work experience early on. So if you graduate early, that'll set a good look on you to possibly get internships, which would allow you to further your career.
Gabriel says anyone can graduate early if they work hard and take advantage of several local programs that are free. The main program he used was the Texas First Early High School Completion Program, which awards a high school diploma with a distinguished level of achievement. He says students should also look into the free Modern States Online nonprofit that helped him earn 8 college credits for free. He is also grateful for SAISD's Sam Houston High School that allowed him to take the dual credit Cyber P-Tech program at St. Philip's College.
People like Gabriel need to be trained so they can start helping when time comes. So we build programs in the future.
The MIMS Institute Fellows, a nonprofit that helps students from underrepresented zip codes get to America's best colleges, also helped Gabriel, landing him an internship with Eastside Quantum Computing.
We also push students to do the best they can, okay, with the resources, the limited resources that may be there. Because even with limited resources, you can go pretty far.
And both his mentors say Gabriel will go far one day. But for now, his mom says she wants to keep him close to home for his bachelor's degree since he's only 15. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
That's a huge achievement, and he wanted other people to know about those programs, which are all on our website, by the way, all those details.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll find out about more younger students wanting to do the same thing as well. That's pretty cool.
And adults who love video games, let's be honest, right? There's a few of us around.
Yeah, that's we know one.
I had a wicked KDR on Call of Duty the other night. It was so good. Anyway.
I won't pretend to
Translation.
Okay, so let's get right to this. It means I was cooking, okay? All right, so I want to show you in northwest Bexar County here, just almost over I-10. We just around Leon Springs down to the rim, La Cantera. This downpour just popped up, Six Flags as well. Heavy rainfall, gray forest. This is drifting down into UTSA there on the far northwest side of town. Should be pretty brief, splash and dash, about 30 minutes or so is what it should last, but it's the outflow boundary that moved through. See that green line that helped to kickstart that shower. Then we head just outside of Bernie and the outflow boundary popped up a shower, but look, over the past hour, developed, had a little bit of lightning and thunder, and now it's already weakening. So an hour is an impressive timeline for these. Typically, it's less than that. Now, Kerr County, different story here. This is some soaking rain in Kerr County, especially just along and south of the Guadalupe River right now. Likely 1 to 2 inches with this thunderstorm here, but that's not enough to cause any significant rise of water. That's the key here. This is actually more than anything some beneficial rain right now for southern Kerr County and moving into drought-stricken Bandera County. So Bandera County, this is all drifting your way and heading toward new development right over the city of Medina. This is a little more put together, so I'd say this is going to last more than an hour compared to the rest of the shower activity that we have out there. And speaking of shower activity off to the west, see these little lines, those outflow boundaries, they love to kickstart new showers and storms. And we're seeing some develop just south of Devils River State Natural Area. And some of this action is trying to drift toward Del Rio. Del Rio, you'd be lucky to see some of this rain is the way I would put it right now, because they're really not moving a whole lot. Okay, that's what's happening at the moment. Come sunset, this activity is done with. After sunset, it's all over with. Tomorrow, we see a few isolated pop-up showers, but nothing significant, and I don't think we'll see as many as we have out there today. Less coverage Thursday and Friday than what we have today. Then we boost the coverage a little bit into Saturday. And here's why. Area of disturbed weather, a little upper level disturbance, cluster of storms, unorganized, moving over the Yucatan and then emerging in the Gulf over the next couple of days. The off chance this could develop into a tropical system with a name, unlikely to happen, a 10% chance of that. More than anything, this throws a little extra energy and deep tropical moisture our way by Saturday morning. So we've enhanced the rain chances a bit then for some tropical downpours Saturday morning on into the afternoon at 40%. Still, not everybody's going to get them, but I do think it'll be better coverage than what we've had the past few days. So 20% chance Thursday, Friday, up to 40% Saturday, a break Sunday and Monday, and then next week, starting Tuesday, we do this kind of weather pattern all over again with the afternoon pop-up showers. Tropical storm Erin here, left-hand side of your screen. Slowly strengthening now as it gets over warmer waters, being steered just about due west, but there's going to be a break in the upper level highs over the Atlantic, and that's going to give it a turn northward, most likely between the east coast of the U.S., the Carolinas, and Bermuda. And you look at the latest spaghetti plots, and they're in pretty good agreement for that turn northward because of the break in the ridge. It's not headed toward the Gulf. 100, that makes it our 13th triple-digit day. Right now we're at 90. And we have rain in the area, but not over the airport right now. 90 degrees at 10 o'clock. By midnight, we're at 87. And tomorrow, more of the same. It's going to look and feel the same. 78 in the morning, near 100 in the afternoon. Right at or near triple digits with that 20% chance of showers. So not as much on the radar, but still a few little splash and dash showers next few days.
Yeah, and more chances. Thanks, Adam.
So we're not the only ones who are pumped about the Pigskin Classic. The actual players are getting ready for this too.
So yesterday we heard from Sotomayor. Tonight we're going to hear from the Clark football team. The Clark Cougars are getting ready to open up the season in KSAT Pigskin Classic. And Davenport volleyball, their season is underway and they're off to a very nice start coming up.
making sure people know who the Clark Cougars are. Like, we made playoffs last 2 years, and we're just getting better every single day and just really focusing on us, not focusing too forward or looking back. We're just going to focus on us in the now.
This is a pivotal year for Clark as the Cougars return 16 starters in big board sports. The Clark football team is slated to open up their 2025 campaign live right here in KSAT 12 against Sotomayor in the 4th annual KSAT Pigskin Classic. The game will mark the start of Clark's quest to qualify for the playoffs for the 3rd straight season. The Cougars finished one game above 500 last year, 4-3 in District 27 6A, but they came up short in a first-round playoff matchup against Harlan. Still, the Cougars gained experience and are ready to kick it up a notch this season.
It's great to have experience, being in the playoffs, knowing what it feels like, but we're really focused on just getting through the games, getting through the seasons, making the playoffs first. You don't want to look too far ahead and get caught up in something, so we're really focused now.
I'm feeling great. We have an excellent team. We've been practicing every morning, getting out here early. Just really excited to start, going day by day.
What excites you most about what you're seeing so far?
I'm really pleased with the returners that we have. We have several guys back on both sides of the ball that had a good season last year, so that's always good. We've got some good kids filling in with the spots that we had to fill in. Just the attitude and the effort that we've had throughout spring ball and summer workouts going into this season, I'm really pleased with it.
The Cougars also opened up their season last year with Sotomayor, and Clark dropped the contest 33-10 as a result of turning the ball over too many times.
They're a great team, and I'm excited to go challenge ourselves for the first game. They're a playoff team like last year, so us being able to play that good of a team straight out the gate will for sure help us get ready for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Clark is out for revenge. The 2025 KSAT Pigskin Classic goes down at 7 o'clock on Thursday, August 28th at Ferris Stadium. Our pregame show begins at 6:30. That's all live right here in KSAT 12 and stream live on KSAT Plus, the Big Game Coverage app, and KSAT.com. The high school volleyball season is underway, and last night we stopped by Davenport High School for a volleyball tournament featuring Davenport, Alamo Heights, and Steele. And Davenport protected their home court, beating Alamo Heights 3-0 and then Steele 3-1. The Wolves won the 4A state championship in 2023, and they reached the state semis last season. They've established themselves as one of the premier teams in the area, and this squad is all about family.
This team is just super tight. Like, we're pretty much all best friends, and that's what I love most about this team, because you can't play volleyball without a tight-knit group.
This team is really special. I feel like we're like family, and I feel like everyone understands and like hypes each other up when we're down. And I feel like we're just ready to compete this year and go on to the next game, hopefully winning it. So, yeah.
And all of us, as like Lexi said and Mackenzie said, we're all very close. Like, we're a family. Most of these girls have grown up together. They've played together. We play on the same teams together. We've played against each other, like every which thing. We all hang out outside of school. We all see each other in school. So it's just a really close dynamic between all of us, which I think helps us a lot in games.
Davenport is scheduled to play Roosevelt on Friday per Max Preps.
Thank you.
You got it.
Still ahead on the news at 6 are Ernie Zuniga and San Antonio City Councilmember Mark White talk about what's in the works for the city. And we'll be right back after this. KSAT is connecting with the council. Our Ernie Zuniga is heading out to each of the 10 city council districts, and he's speaking with the council members who represents all sides of town.
So his first stop is an easily recognizable spot in District 10 for a chat with council member Mark White.
What can you tell us in terms of, if you could kind of pull the curtain back, what's happening? There are some dates coming up in late August, obviously November, that would be important as it pertains to the future of Project Marvel and where you stand on all of that.
Yeah, so let's be real clear. Project Marvel as a whole, there's a lot that goes on there, but what we're really focused on right now is the proposed new Spurs Arena downtown. And it's really important for your viewers to have a clear understanding of what's going on here. The county has called an election for November. That election is going to decide the fate of this new arena, right? It's a done deal. The voters will go to the polls in November to decide this issue. City Council doesn't get to decide whether we have a new arena or not. It's the voters, and that's how it should be.
Right.
All we're doing right now as a City Council is we are trying to finalize the term sheet, because it's my position that the voters deserve to know the details, the terms of the deal before they go to the polls in November. So we're working hard this week, and I hope that there's going to be a vote before the end of the month where we can approve a term sheet, so then the citizens will have about 70, 80 days to review it and decide if they want this new arena or not, and then they can make that decision in November.
So just this week, the mayor again kind of doubled down, if you will, or called again for that strategic pause, which I know has been polarizing and divisive in some cases in terms of where you fall on that. But at the end of the day, is it just because of the numbers? There's a discrepancy on the numbers. Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, it seems like the mayor doesn't like the economic impact analysis report that the city has already received. She wants us to go and get another one. And listen, I'm all for making sure that the numbers are accurate. I just believe what we've been given thus far is sufficient. It's good. I've gone through that analysis. The majority of my colleagues have gone through that analysis and agree that we've been given what we need. City staff, who has very, very smart people on the financial level, has looked at it and says this is a project that makes sense. We've got to keep our San Antonio Spurs right here in San Antonio where they belong, and so we're comfortable that we have enough information to move forward on this term sheet. Again, so that the citizens can know the deal when they go to make their decision in November.
So again, it's several moving parts happening here, but when there's a difference of opinion, or perhaps just not being on the same page with the mayor, or in disagreement, if you will, how do you get past that?
Yeah, great question. So in San Antonio, we have what's called a council manager form of government. So there is no chief executive. There's nobody that gets to put down an executive order like we have in Washington, D.C. Here, it takes 6 council people to agree on something for anything to happen. So what should be taking place is conversations among council members, conversations between council members and our city manager and city staff, and hopefully working together to find a solution, again, that can work for everybody. But again, if there's a disagreement, like there may be here, we're going to get up on that dais, we're going to vote, and it takes 6 people to do anything.
So, I am reminded the mayor's vote is just as powerful and strong as your vote.
That's it. The mayor's vote is just as powerful as the most junior person on council or the most senior person on council.
Fair enough.
There's 11 people. We all get 1 vote.
Any concern, is there any scenario as we stand here today that Project Marvel would fall apart and not happen? Do you see any scenario where that could play out?
I don't think it's going to happen, but it's certainly very, very possible. And again, the beauty of this is that the citizens are going to get to decide. This is going to be democracy in its purest form, right? City Council does not make the decision. We, in my opinion, our job, get the information to the citizens. The citizens are going to go to the polls in November. They are going to have the final word, and that's how it should be.
So that's the $311 million, right? That would come from hotel venue taxes, those types of things?
Rental cars and hotel taxes. So mostly taxes on visitors that come to our city.
So so that's an important point. So that would be funded by people who are visiting as opposed to people like you and I who live here already.
Right.
So if we play this out, let's say that passes in November, then is the ball back in the city council's court?
Yeah, and so to be clear, that's the county portion,
Correct.
that visitor part.
Right.
Then we have the Spurs that are putting in $500 million or more for the stadium, and then even more than that.
Overruns too.
Overruns as well. They're also going to help develop the area. And then the city portion is going to be primarily paid through what's called Project Finance Zone dollars. These are taxes collected by the state that the city is allowed to use for convention centers, arenas, things like that. And if the city does not use them, those dollars go back to the state. So that's the financial structure of the deal. So we're going to have this vote in November, and if the vote passes, if the citizens say go forward, then next year what is likely to happen is there's going to be an infrastructure bond that's going to be put on the ballot for May, and there the city is going to have to allocate dollars for the infrastructure downtown and around the stadium. And we've got to be transparent, because on that vote, citizens have asked me, well, that money for that infrastructure around the stadium, that could be used other places in the city. And that's absolutely correct. That money could be used in other districts around the city, but we're going to have to make a decision as a city. Do we want to allocate this money for the new arena or not? And again, the citizens will have the final say.
Mayor asking for this strategic pause. How does a pause, however long that might take, potentially impact in a negative way what ultimately is the goal here?
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, my goal again is to get the citizens all the information. A strategic pause sounds good, but this pause would last past November if she has her way. And that's the problem. So then you have voters going to the polls without the information on what the deal is. That doesn't make sense. We have to be transparent with the citizens. They need to see, be able to read the deal, ask questions about the terms of the deal so that they know what's going on when they go to the polls in November. So again, you can use the term strategic pause and it sounds good, but if they don't have all the information before November, then it's really the ball's being hidden from the public, and that's not right.
Now to watch the full conversation between Ernie and Councilman Mark White, you can head to KSAT.com.
And we'll be right back after this.
Kerrville ISD started a new school year this morning after a summer of loss and devastation in the Hill Country. That district has more than 4,600 students returning, and so many of those families are just still reeling from the July 4th floods.
And they can certainly all teach us about strength and resiliency. RG Marquez tells us how the district is preparing for its first week of class.
Our teachers are definitely feeling the love, and our teachers are wanting to get our students back in the classroom. To make those personal connections.
Dr. Brent Ringo knows it will be a very emotional week for his students and staff in Kerrville ISD, but he said the main message is you are not alone.
We want students to know, hey, as you come back to school, everything's taken care of, and take that burden off the families, because that personal tragedy everybody's feeling and sensing, and how far that extends, is still not known completely across this district.
The district provided free backpacks and free school supplies to every student for the entire school year. They also have some extra company to welcome them back to campus.
You know, on day one, we're going to have support dogs on each campus. We're going to have crisis counselors available because the recovery process is not just going to be a definitive timeline, and that is going to be ongoing, and we're going to be there for our students and our families.
Dr. Ringo said that none of their buildings or transportation vehicles or buses were damaged during the floods, but they are taking every precaution to make sure their kids feel safe.
So it does allow us to have those discussions even more and coordinate even more about flood alerts because our buses do cross those, and we're always very cautious when that happens. And so as we go to 25-26, we will continue to evaluate our safety plan and always make adjustments.
Many Kerrville families are still reeling from the floods. The district lost beloved Tivy High School soccer coach Reese Zunker and his family, and Camp Mystic director Dick Eastland, among many others.
Amazing soccer coach, but more importantly, just an amazing person. He would give you the shirt off his back, always there for his kids and students. And the Eastland family, just an amazing, down-to-earth family, and they have kids in our schools, in our sports programs, and really just that connection to be there for each other.
Dr. Ringo said that on July 4th, his staff sprang into action hours after the flooding, helping transport hundreds of kids from devastated sites like Camp La Junta and Camp Mystic. Their buildings also house several first responders.
You know, as a father, seeing these kids, t-shirts, shorts, muddied, no shoes, been outside since about 3 a.m. that morning. It's now about 6:15 p.m. You know, our bus drivers, teachers, coaches provided that first sense of normalcy.
And Dr. Ringo says that spirit of strength and community will continue into the new year.
What we're seeing from the students is resiliency. They are returning, coming together, being there for each other, and that sense of resiliency, and seeing that.
In Kerrville, RG Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Hope those teachers and students feel a lot of love in this new school year. Let's take a look outside with live cam. Adam Caskey keeping an eye on the radar, watching what's happening out to the west. He'll give us an update on any action we were expecting here in town and our future rain chances up next.
Welcome back. You might be seeing some showers if you're in some areas to the west of us. The question is whether those showers are going to make it to the downtown San Antonio area.
And right now that looks highly unlikely. We had our opportunity with an outflow boundary that moved through just over the past hour or so. Now that outflow boundary is headed toward Poteet and even Medina Lake Reservoir. The most notable rain in this thunderstorm activity is in southern Kerr County, now moving into Bandera County. I'm going to switch the radar over to the last hour and you'll see how it's been pushing southward. A lot of lightning with this. Could even be some wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Unlikely to have any hail in here, but this is working its way over the Medina River, city of Medina, and then soon to move toward Bandera. This will be a drop in the bucket for Medina Lake. Better than nothing, but it's not going to have a big impact on Medina Lake, and it is moving out of Kerr County slowly moving out of Kerr County, and not the type to cause any significant rise in the river, or even as of now, no flash flooding with this system. But I do want to point out how much rain has fallen. Let's switch over to, I'm going to switch a different radar site, and we'll look at western Kerr County here. And just west of Kerrville, that little yellow spot, that's 2 inches of rain. That's just south of Ingram and Hunt, and then scattered about in western Kerr County, 1/2 inch to 1 inch in other parts of the county. But that's the most notable rain that we have on the radar screen at the moment. This will die down after sunset, but this is going to last longer than all the other showers that we had out there. Even the ones in northern Medina County should be pretty brief, and east closer to Hallettsville, Lavaca County, some little pop-up downpours that'll be probably 30 minutes in duration, and that's about it. But you can still get a good quick 1/2 inch to 1 inch out of those 30 minutes or so that you get. Here's what we're watching to boost Saturday's rain chances. A little disturbance over the Yucatan, heading into the southern Gulf, and then right up into Texas and right into our neck of the woods, basically. And that should boost our rain chances a little bit for Saturday. So 20% chance Thursday and Friday in the afternoons, just isolated, stray little pop-up downpours. Slightly better odds, though, better coverage on Saturday when that disturbance moves in with some deep tropical moisture. And it could even be Saturday morning, some areas of tropical downpours, but unlikely to cause any flooding because it's going to be progressive, move in and move out. Tropical storm Erin strengthened a little bit, still traveling westward, likely to become a hurricane by the end of this work week, and then start to take a curve northward after this weekend and into next week. The most likely path is somewhere between the Carolinas and Bermuda as we get into next week. Now, here's one reason why it's slowly starting to strengthen. Look at the water temperatures. 78 and above is what you need to create a tropical storm. And every degree thereafter is critical. And notice it was in 79-degree water. Now it's in 80-degree water, but it's moving into 85-degree water, which is one of the main factors that's going to help it strengthen into a major Category 3 hurricane by this upcoming weekend as it travels into those warmer waters. 100 the high, average 97, record 106. Today, our 13th triple-digit day so far this year. You look at the number of 100-degree days in any given year, and of course 2023, we all remember that infamous summer, 75, the all-time record for 100-degree days. So far behind pace of that, and that's okay with me. Tomorrow, very similar. Upper 70s in the morning, near 90 at noon, 100 in the afternoon. That's 102 for Pleasanton, 101 Uvalde, and about 95 Kerrville, 93 Fredericksburg. And then we have 2 days off of rain chances. That's Sunday and Monday. But then next week, we're going to do this all over again with the afternoon pop-up showers. We'll be back in just a minute.
All right, just a few minutes away from our streaming show, KSAT Sports Now, starting at 7 o'clock.
So let's send things on over to our friend Larry Ramirez. He'll take it from here.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about Cowboys defensive tackle Mozzie Smith, the first-round draft pick in 2023. So far, he has not lived up to the expectations, and you can hear it in his voice just from a couple of days ago that he's really feeling the pressure to produce this year. Sticking with the Dallas Cowboys, there's a new Netflix series coming out that will feature them next week. Now, this is a document-style series, and it's really going to take a deeper look into the Dallas Cowboys organization and all the ups, the downs, and a lot of the drama that surrounds the team, especially after Jerry Jones bought them. And we're going to hear from a couple of legends, including Emmitt Smith, and get his thoughts on how he feels about this show. We're also going to talk about the Houston Texans, and we've got big game coverage, not just football. The Smithson Valley Rangers, we're going to hear from them as they get ready to defend their state title. We're also going to talk about high school volleyball because that is underway now. We're going to check in with the Davenport Wolves, who won the state title 2 seasons ago. Last year they made it to state again, came up just a little bit short. They are one big family and they want to go back and win it all once again. We got that coming up for you at 7 o'clock on KSAT Sports Now. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on GMSA, our back-to-school coverage continues. We'll be live in shirts as we address some of the big questions that you've been asking. What's going on with all the construction issues along I-35, and how will that impact your commute to school? RJ Marquez will be live with what you need to know starting at 5 a.m.
For now, thank you for joining us here at 6, and we will see you tonight on the night.